I think we have a solid class built so far. We have to hang on to the kids what we've currently got. I think right now when you evaluate the offers we've got out right now, we're probably sitting at around 40 offers, including the committed guys. And we feel very strongly about the guys we've offered, but now, it's a total reevaluation process once we get into a person's senior year. We'll evaluate the guys we currently have offered that aren't committed to us, and we're out there looking for, other guys that, we've had a lot of success with guys that we've offered in December and January, so we're looking for those guys that are having great senior years. I still think the thing that we're still looking at defensive ends. We're still looking at linebackers. We're still looking at offensive tackles right now. I think those are still big position needs for us. The other positions that you mentioned are more supplemental positions for us. This year's class, the 2013 class, is so strong from a skill position standpoint, in numbers. And, in the first couple days, we've kind of liked what we've seen with the kids that we've got so far. There's still a long way to go with them, but right now we're kind of focusing on those three positions: the linebacker, the defensive end, and the O-line position, just to try to strengthen those numbers. Because, you're losing 3 starters at linebacker. We've been depleted a lot at the D-line, and, we've kind of cheated the O-line in the last couple of recruiting classes, so we haven't built a ton of depth in that situation. It's funny, the guys that you feel at this point, 6-7 years ago were developmental guys that, hey, I'm going to see what they look like on senior tape. They've got 30 offers right now. So it's really hard from that standpoint. There aren't a lot of stones that you can uncover right now, turn over and uncover. So that's the hard part about it. I mean, like you said, a lot of kids are committed already. You can still cherry pick from maybe some of the smaller conferences, because those are the developmental guys that you did find in December and January. It is a lot more difficult.
Without talking about specific guys, how do you guys, or what's your plan to cover in case you lose a kid? Now with guys verbaling so much earlier, it seems like there are more kids that decommit.
Oh yeah,
now.
They all decommit now because they don't feel like they're getting loved enough. Or again, when I was talking with somebody, it's that video game mentality, that quick attention span, and all of a sudden they want more. But we try to keep our list healthy, and hopefully that if we do lose somebody, we'll have somebody to back. The thing that's been nice with all the turnover that we've had over the last 2 years, you kind of get set in your ways a little bit, and this is how you do things. And we've had a lot of great ideas come in the last 2 years and changing some of the things that we do. That's the one thing, not only on the field is football team sport, but you got, 10 full-time coaches, including the head coach, new graduate assistants, student assistants, whatever it may be. And when you get that many new guys coming in, it brings a ton of great ideas.
I know you guys used stability of staff, before the changes the last 2 years as a recruiting tool, as a way to say, what has there been something that's replaced that? Or?
So I think what we've used to replace that is the new facility, and that's really an exciting part of our program now. If you can put a $60 million facility in front of a recruit, it's a pretty good deal.
Kirk said you guys maybe fell a little bit behind in the arms race before you guys got the practice facility. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we were joking about it, and I don't know if you saw it when you would come to games or anything like that, but we'd put kids out in a tent right behind. I mean, it's one day we're out there with cameras, the tent's leaking. I mean, guys, we might as well sit out in the rain and stuff like that. We're trying to, offer kids $200,000 scholarships while they're sitting in the rain eating hot dogs, and stuff. So,
how have you found? I know the last few off season you guys have gone to these group recruiting weekends where barbecues and things on campus. Kind of how did that come into you guys doing that, and how has it worked?
Well, I mean, everything you do, whether it's schemes, recruiting, all that, it's copycat ideas. Some other programs started doing those things, and we looked into it and felt it was a pretty good idea. And then we even stepped it up this year by going from a one-day weekend to a two-day weekend, bringing kids on Friday so they could go out with our players. Even though it's an unofficial visit, our players could take them out. The recruits still paid for it, and get a really good feel of Iowa City being around our players and then actually do the full junior day on Saturday, almost making it like an official visit that the recruits are paying for.
Shooting ahead to the 15 and 16 class, have you guys picked up the pace at all from this time last year in terms of moving on those classes?
We have, and I think we're probably still a little bit further. I don't want to say further behind, but a little slower in the offering process and
longer
some other
evaluation.
Yeah, we're still kind of going through. It's still hard for us to pull the trigger off of freshman tape or sophomore tape.
I know you had you guys have had, and other kids that haven't even played high school football yet.
Yeah, I mean
visiting
that's still
campuses.
we're not going to offer those guys. It's funny, the programs that offer those 7th graders are the programs that have the high turnover in staffs, whether it's assistants or head coaches, and they don't have great winning percentages. So, nothing against those programs, but it'll be funny to see if those kids still have the same offer from the same staff at that university, when they reach their sophomore, junior, senior year. So,
but you guys have picked up a little bit in terms of
we picked up our evaluation process a lot. We have a big board on who we're close to offering. We've offered a couple kids in those classes, but we've kind of got it so once their junior, sophomore season hits, we're looking at tape on those kids right away to try to make those evaluations.
Cool. Do you think it makes a difference the times you offer? Do you think it matters to kids that much when they get offered?
I think it used to. I don't know how much it matters anymore. I mean, we still got a bunch of kids in this current class that we were the first schools to offer them, and some it kind of let us hang in the game a little bit, others not so much.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's as
different
big
with each kid, you think?
Exactly.
Okay.